So much on with work, it's just frantic. I did, however, get the chance to go to Nelson. Now Nelson is at the top of the South Island. I live in Wellington at the bottom of the North Island, so it's a 20-minute flight across the Cook Strait, a little bit of ocean that's in between. And I went down there to MarchFest. Now Nelson is a great place. 20 years ago I lived down in Nelson and just wonderful. The climate's great, the sunshine hours, and that's why the hops grow there. Nelson is the place that all the New Zealand hops come from. For around the world, brewers from around the world come to Nelson to look at the hops, to pick the hops, to sign their contracts, to take those hops away to make the beers that everybody is enjoying. And this time of the year is hop harvesting, and all the farms are just getting all their hops done and off to New Zealand hops to be palletised or packaged up. That's why I've got some fresh hops, because of course they get shipped up to New Zealand, up to Wellington. So we get the opportunity to brew with fresh hops. So to celebrate the hop season, they have MarchFest. And this year, 16 of the breweries at the top of the South Island put a beer together to put in a MarchFest. And we all went and enjoyed it. Now I've got a whole heap of video that you can watch after I finish rambling. But I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank Denise from SOBA, the Society of Beer Advocates, for organising a tour. So not only did we just go down to MarchFest to go to the beer festival, we had a day before and a day after to do brewery tours, and she organised a bus to pick us up. There's like 20 of us to take us around a couple of the breweries, Hop Federation, off to Mitchrian, Martin Townsend to go see Townsend Brewery. Whoa, mind blow. To New Zealand hops, and to see all the bales and bales and bales of all the hops ready to be palletised. Off to the Free House, a old church in the centre of the CBD in Nelson that's just a craft pub. You take your own food, sit down, relax, and just have a beer with all your friends. And then of course Saturday, MarchFest. Wow. Hit MarchFest, there was a beer and food pairing that I went to first. So I managed to get into the park before everybody else to get seated into this hall, and we had a 3-hour lunch. 8 courses or something like that, cheeses and all this kind of stuff, and 12 odd different beers that were all matched up with a beer. Each of the brewers that had brewed those beers were there. Jeff Griggs was our host, announcing what the beer was and what he thought the pairing was with the food, and just great. Phenomenal. Great atmosphere, great time. All the people that I went down with were just superb. Following day after MarchFest, we went out to Golden Bear Brewery in Mapua, and we just hung out there for 3 hours just enjoying the beer, eating great food before heading back to Wellington. So I'll make this short and sweet because there's some footage of my weekend. I tried to compact down to try and show you what went on. So cheers, have yourself another one.
It is, yeah. Which is pretty much the quietest of life that you can possibly get. Bought a brewery here and started this place from scratch pretty much. Some of this plant was inherited, otherwise all the beer, everything else was pretty much introduced by Si. So built it from the ground up basically. That was about 18 months ago now, so it's still fairly new, but it's starting to be a bit more established, a bit more organised now. Second summer was a bit more organised than the first. The name's out there a bit more distribution and that sort of thing. Yes, this is the brewery, as you can see. Again, not the hugest brewery in the world. Pretty small batch sizes here. We do 600 litre batches. Mash tun, kettle, obviously. I'm sure most of you guys probably know the brewing process pretty well. So some fermenters just around the corner. We have 2 800 litre fermenters and a 1200. The size of the fermenters, and if it's a 1000 litre kettle, the sizes don't really match up. It's a bit weird. We have to do a double brew for that 1200 litre fermenter and single brews for the 800s. There's one fermenter we can't dry hop in, so we have to transfer it to dry hop. So little things like that you kind of have to deal with. It's sort of small and a bit sketchy.
After leaving the Hop Federation, we went to the Mitchrian the oldest bar in New Zealand, established in 1850. We had a great lunch there and some wonderful beers before heading on to one of the best kept secrets in New Zealand. Ian, where are we going?
We're going to Townsend Brewery.
Oh, we?
Probably the top brewery for me in New Zealand. Real ale on tap in the countryside. Shut up, you silly bird.
Hey! Wow. It's long and thin. Wow.
This is amazing.
It is, isn't it?
This is the best brewery in New
It
Zealand.
is.
Well done about that. There you go. First of all, alright mate, you're all very welcome. It's great to see you all. Thanks a lot for making the effort, because we don't have a sign outside, we don't do tours at all. Really quite private people, my wife, myself and my son. So you are here completely under your own responsibility. If you have an accident, it's absolutely nothing to do with me whatsoever. Remember, there's things to trip over, the floors are slippery, so just watch out for that. Guys, if you need to have a piss, there's 20 acres out there. Ladies, where the ute is parked, opposite there are some French doors. Go in there, go up the stairs, and there's a toilet right at the top of the stairs. All right. I'm just going to put out random beers that I've got, and you guys can just help yourselves. There's a bottle opener here. There's also water in the green jug here. When you're done with the beers, if you don't like them or you've had enough, I'll pour it into the bucket or chuck it down the drain. And I'm just going to keep on shuffling things out. So start off with Talaga down there, guys. Then we'll just get stuck in. Beauregard was in, or was Harry.
So we're going to where New Zealand hops come from. So this is where all the hops.
It doesn't always smell like this.
Oh, it
Just
does
a,
always
just a
smell.
happy time. Very happy
It does
time.
always smell like
Happy
this.
time.
Take about half of the crop coming in here. We're about halfway through the season, so we've still got a couple of weeks to run. By the time we're finished, this room will be full all the way back loose towards the end. After the kiln, they're dropped out of the kiln onto the floor, and then they sit for 24 hours on one side of the kiln floor, and they get picked up and put to the other side.
Because everyone's different. That
The
one's just
intention is to get that conditioning process, to get that 9.5%.
So if the brewery were to come in and we're doing selections on the hops, this is what they'd be presented with. That's been cut straight out of section here. So if these were out of the bag here and I was looking at them, they'd be graded on the colour, how well they hold together, because the moisture content itself is very important to ensure that you've got whole hops in this storage, because you don't want that to come apart until we put it through a mill to create the colour. And it's just a matter of for us, it's a matter of either trying to present the brewer with the very best whole hops when we sell them as whole hops, or just feel them over. Oh, you've got to feel like you want to help yourself out of the bin there.
Apparently I'm getting the floor sweeping.
Yes. Yeah. Or when they go through the pelleting process to ensure we make the best pellets we can. So, and that's why you want that. So that's part of the grading process. Colour is part of it, but it's not everything. Because you can have hops that could be a little bruised. This one looks like it could have got a bit of bruising on the vine itself, a bit of wind damage. But the thing is, it's still inside here is what we're after, and the colour doesn't really determine the quality of the lupulin or the oils that are inside here. What's them? 3 to 1?
3 to 1. I'm the one.
So 4 of yours you can do.